So, recording now. Answers to the witches. So, first one was the comprehension. Said, how do the witches catch the narrator? Who got that one? What'd you get, Layla? Yeah, one of the ladies with a good big old nose could smell him. How does the narrator get to the Grand High Witch's hotel room? Some people saying B. Yeah, through the balcony. I think the grandmother had him in a sock, didn't she? And she lowered him down. Or was knitting or something. What did she do? Yeah, that's right. So yeah, had a half knitted sock. That's it. So what about number 3? Says choose the best word to describe Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins' reaction when they first see Bruno as a mouse. Some say A, some say C. So this one would be A because this isn't the time when Grandma walks up to him and says, "Oh, your boy's a mouse," because then they get annoyed because they're like, "You're a crazy lady." They actually, when they see him and hear him as a mouse, they actually panic because they're like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do? We've got a cat, and she hates mice, my wife." And they panic for that one. How does the narrator get all of the witches to eat? Formula 86. Yeah, dumps it in the soup. What word best describes how the narrator feels about being a mouse for the rest of his life? Yeah, that one's content. So relieved isn't like, "Oh, thank God I get to be a mouse." Angry, he's not like, "Oh, I've got to be a bloody mouse." And he's sad, he's like, "Oh, I've got to be a mouse." He's content, which means like, yeah, you're happy with the situation that you're in. You're like, okay, this is fine. You're content. All right, number 6 says, summarize grandmother and the narrator's final plan to defeat the witches at the end of the novel. Yeah, so that's part of it. So let's see. So grandma gets Grand High Witch's address, so she knows where she lives because she called the policeman. Pretended I think so. I'll go through some of the bits, and I'm sure you've got parts of it in it, which is all right. So she wants to put uh, the narrator into the castle to poison them all. Put cats in the castle to eat the mice. What else happens? Oh, then they also want to find all the addresses for the other witches in the world. I think that's the main thing. So it was like, find out where the Grand High Witch lives. All right, we're going to send in the narrator. He's going to poison all the witches in there. They're all going to be turned into mice. We're going to go through all their files. We're going to find out where all the other witches live in the world. And we're going to go traveling around poisoning them all and sicking cats on them, which is a bit violent. What's a lesson? So, any answer you could have for this one says, what's a lesson that you learnt from this story? Don't, don't trust strangers. Don't trust Mrs. Mac. Yeah, yeah, that could be it. You could have one like the lesson could be like it doesn't matter who you are, like if you're a mouse or if you're a person, if you have someone that loves you, that might be something that all that matters. It could be something like sometimes your life might change and you become a mouse, but the narrator learnt how to be content. So I'm just going to write up to you on that one. And the last one was summarize your favorite part of the story. So who could share something? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, so you got some different answers. Great. All right, so that was that one. We can probably really quickly do this one, and I'll finish the video. So vocabulary. Let me do this really quick. So first one is what the definition is of the word. So commotion definition is something like chaos or confusion. Yeah, could be like a disturbance as well. So it's when like there's something crazy going on and people are like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" They don't really know. That's a commotion. Scowled. Yeah, make a like sullen or displeased face. Frown, frowny face. Yeah, something like that. Musty. That means having an old or stale or moldy smell. Thrilling. That could be like exciting. Yeah, pleasurable. Cool. All right, we have a graphic organizer. So this one, you might have different things. So synonyms, other words for hustled. Hurried, moved quickly, shoved along, elbowed on the move. It is a verb, thank you. Antonyms could be like go slowly, meander, or meandered. That's like when you're like, oh, do 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 do. You're not really hustling, you're meandering. Or dilly dally, that's a good word. And a hustle could be like, Naruto. Write a sentence containing the word console, or console, sorry, and then illustrate the sentence. That's a perfect one. Her dog died. So I went to console her. Perfect. All right. Moving across to the next bit, we have best synonym. So what's another word that's the best sort of similar sounding word or kind of word for feeble? Weak. Yeah, feeble, weak person. What about an antonym for triumph? So this one's an antonym. That one would be yeah, loss. So the opposite of winning or having a victory, a triumph would be a loss. Yeah, that's a little trick. Next one says choose the word that best completes the following sentence. Nobody recognized me because I was disguised. Yep. Below writes about something that might be exterminated. What'd you get, Layla? Yep. The bugs were exterminated by Uncle Jesse. So that means killed, basically. Usually we talk about that with things that we don't care about if they die, like pests. So, killed. Where are three places you might see a corridor? House, a hotel, a school. Go with that. Yeah. Uh, how would you finish this sentence? We found out that the shrill sound was. So that was her mother. We found out that the shrill sound was her mother. To set the dinner table. Okay. That sounds like a nice sound. Set the table. Jeez. I was just thinking something like a car alarm, but alright. As getting deep. Alright, use at least two of your vocabulary words in one single sentence below. Or you can use more if you want. So if I was going to do that, let me try to think. What have I got? Shrill, corridor, exterminate. I followed the shrill sound of the magic unicorn down the corridor, trying to exterminate it before it ended the world. Something like that. All right. Look at that. We did the vocab too. Great.